Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name's Monica. In today's video, I'm going to be opening up the Unstuff Your TBR vlog, which used to be Unstuff Your Kindle. I was looking at all the stuff that I had. I was like, okay, moon, can I spell it out? See if the words, do I have two O's and an M and an N in the title? Or a moon on the cover? Listen, I couldn't find anything, so I figured I'd do circle on the cover or night or moon, the word night or moon on the cover. So something that has to do with night or moon or circle on the cover, or if it actually does have a moon on the cover. So the first one I'm starting is Night Prince by Laura, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce her last name because I'm going to butcher it severely and I will feel bad. I've been wanting to read this since I read The Wolf King, and I'm about maybe 10-15 minutes into it, and so far it's 10-15 minutes into it, so I can't really tell you what I'm feeling other than I'm kind of like, okay, I gotta get my brain back into this world. But when I was looking up for something else that I could possibly read with this, I was gonna read Twas the Night Before Christmas on my Christmas TBR, which is a cozy romance by Jacqueline Frost. I realized I had read it last year, but I never put it on my Goodreads, and I don't know why I did that, but it was read last year, which is funny, but I don't know why I didn't put it on my Goodreads. So it's not on my Goodreads, but it's been read. So what's the next book? It's Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. This is book 4 in the Christmas Tree Farm Mystery series. It's a cozy mystery, and it has a moon on the cover. I was so happy to see that it has a moon on a cover. I could not believe I found a moon on a cover. I was very happy about that. So I am going to read The Night Prince and Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. And if I can find one more, I will put it on. Hey guys, it is Thursday afternoon. I just got home from work, and I want to say I'm about almost 70% of the way through Night Prince. The beginning is a little slow, like it took me a minute, probably the first couple of chapters to get me back into the world. But once I got back there, I'm in it. I like this one better than The Wolf King. So we're picking up where Blake and Aurora and Callum. So Aurora's still with Callum, and Blake, he marks her, and oh, that ramped up the tension. But there's stuff that we still don't know. Like, Blake is not a bad guy, but there's stuff going on that we don't know, and he won't tell Aurora. And he won't tell the audience, obviously. We know that she's the key to something that people are looking for. And we know that her mom also had that key. But there's a lot of political intrigue in this. And the chemistry between Blake and Aurora is off the charts. See, I think one of the things where I didn't particularly love The Wolf King, and I gave 3.5 stars, was because I didn't really like her with Callum. I didn't see it. And so everybody's like, well, just continue on to the Night Prince. So I did, because I was actually going to DNF the series and be like, well, all right. But because everyone's like, no, you need to continue, I'm glad I did. Like, this is turning out so good. I have maybe about an hour and a half left of the audiobook, and then I'll be done. So I have a couple errands I have to run this afternoon to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get those errands done and while listening to my audiobook. There's this one book that I want to quickly talk about, and it would have fit this prompt so well. It's called Little Moon, and I'll put it here. So it's a graphic novel. It's 64 pages. It's young adult, and it's about an indigenous girl and her family. Her sister goes missing. And if you know anything about what's been going on the reservations, and even off the reservations, indigenous women have been getting kidnapped. They've been gone missing. They've been killed. So this author, and I can't think of her name right now, but here's the book. And one of my coworkers told me to go ahead and read this book because we were talking about this subject, and because this is a big subject, and I think we need to have more noise on this subject. Anyway, so the author, I guess, for what I understand, She said that her sister was kidnapped. Unfortunately for the author's sister, she was found deceased. This book is about a family and the mourning traditions that her tribe has, and how they have to go through these stages of grief after one of their women gets kidnapped, goes missing, and or killed. I recommend that book. I read it on Sunday, and if I had remembered that I had to do this vlog, because so I had something, my mom was in the hospital, and this was one of the books I read while she was asleep when I was in the when I was sitting there with her in the hospital. And I would never have vlogged it then because that's too personal. However, I'm gonna add it to this and tell you that I gave it 5 stars, and I think you need to read it. I think it's a very important book to be read. I think it definitely shines a light on the grief that these families feel, and I think that there needs to be done more to stop these Indigenous women from disappearing, from getting saved from what's going on, and it hasn't been addressed. So that one is 5 stars. I'm sorry I didn't vlog it, but I wouldn't have vlogged it when I had read it because of the circumstances around where I was when I read it. Hey guys, it is early Friday morning, and I am sitting in a truck, so I don't have a place to put my phone to film. So it's going to be a little shaky. I'm sorry about that. But it is early Friday morning. I slept in a little bit this morning, and I'm not mad about it. I needed it. I finished not Wolf King, The Night Prince last night, around late yesterday afternoon, and I'm giving it 5 stars. That ending, those twists, those turns, and the whole love triangle thing. This is the one love triangle I'm not mad about either, because I was like, oh gosh, a love triangle, okay. But I didn't particularly love Callum with Aurora, so I'm cool. I think I'm going to be Team Blake on this one, because, yeah, I just really like him. I really like Team Blake, and he is definitely underhanded. He's not above board, but there's reasons for that. So yeah, I'm going to give that one 5 stars, and I am over halfway through stalking around the Christmas tree. I've read the first 3 books in the series. I know I read the 3rd book, but I don't remember it, and I don't remember putting it on Goodreads. So the only reason why I know is because my Hoopla tells you that you finished it, and I actually had a star rating on there, so I spaced on putting that in last year. So we're back at the Christmas tree farm in, I think it's Mistletoe, Maine, and the ballet's in town to perform the Nutcracker. Our heroine, she's now engaged to the local sheriff. His name's Ian, and well, here's the thing, there's more to this than the Nutcracker. Like, Ian's sister is being threatened, and he's from Boston, and if you know anything about Boston, it's a very big mafia area. I'm really enjoying this. It's not as good as Night Prince. I did not expect it to be as good as the Night Prince, but it's so I gave the first book 4 stars, the second book 4 stars, this 3rd book I gave like 3.5 stars or 3 stars, something like that. And then this one, I think I am hovering between a 4 and a 4.5 because I'm thoroughly enjoying all the quirkiness, the cozy parts, the sweet little romance, because there's actually a couple of romances in there, and it's super cute. The writing is very well done. I keep getting Jacqueline Snow and Jacqueline Frost mixed up. This is by Jacqueline Frost. I'm leaning towards 4.5 unless something weird happens, but I really, really like this cozy mystery. It is a really good one. Hey guys, it is Saturday morning, and I just woke up. I actually had so I look a little atrocious. All I did was brush my hair. I gotta start getting ready for the day because I have to go to the post office and I have to go to the grocery store. I did sell a couple books from that haul that I did on Saturday. Anyway, I finished stalking around the Christmas tree yesterday afternoon when I was working. I do bulk of my planning after school because it's just easier. because I try not to take things home with me if I can help it. Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. It was super cute. And I really liked the mystery. The mystery was very interesting. So Stalking Around a Christmas Tree is about Holly and Evan. He's the sheriff. Last book they got engaged, and it is the progression of their romance in this world. But also you have his sister. Someone is stalking his sister, and then you have the main murder of the ballet, of the prima ballerina. Her name was Tiffany. I really liked the fumbliness of the villain. I was like, it makes sense. The way she wrote it made sense. And I loved the coziness because it has the holiday cozy vibes. I mean, it's mistletoe Maine. So, I mean, sure. But also, I really liked the romance that's within the book itself, and I really loved the mystery and the plot, and it was really well done. I gave 4.5 stars. I was very happy with that. Now here's the thing, and you're gonna laugh at me. Like I said, I couldn't find anything that didn't have moon or whatever, and then I remember Little Moon. Well, when I was on my Hoopla, because I got Wolf King off my Libby, Hoopla had Stalking Around the Christmas Tree, and it also had Rope the Moon by Ava Hunter, and that's actually on my TBR for November, because it finally came out in audiobook and I was planning on reading that. I was like, ugh, I'm an idiot. I can read this book for this vlog because it says Rope the Moon. Oh gosh. So I am about halfway through Ava Hunter's Rope the Moon. This is book 2, I think, in I think it's the Runaway Ranch series. I'm not quite sure. It's about Davis, and I can't remember her name to save my life. So the prologue is sexy times with her and the hero, and then it jumps to our heroine running away from an abusive ex that's not our hero. And time passed. That prologue, honestly, I almost DNF'd it at that moment, because I was like, really? We're going to start with that. There was no build up to the romance. There was no build up to the character development. We just start off, boom. And normally I'm okay with that, but not in the prologue. Like, at least let me know who the characters are. It didn't let me know who the characters are. We just knew that they just really liked each other a lot. They really liked each other a lot. I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna give it more, because I try to give books 5 chapters and or 100 pages. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue on. I'm actually really loving this book now. But that prologue, I almost closed it at that point, because I want the build up. I want the romance. I don't want we just have physical chemistry and then we're good. Like, I don't want that. But anyway, so she's run away from an abusive ex who set fire to her bakery, or did she set fire? One of them set fire to her bakery. It was an accident while he was hurting her, and she managed to get away. Now, here's the thing. She is pregnant with her abuser's baby, and she goes back home because she's never really talked about where she was from. And she's now staying on this ranch with Davis, our hero, and he's protecting her from her ex, but she won't tell him who her ex is because she's afraid. And I understand that fear. It's totally legitimate that she has that fear, and frankly, at this point, I'm rooting for her to continue her autonomy, to not say his name. I understand that 100%. It's like, you cannot push a person who's been a victim of domestic violence or SA to really say what they can't say, because they just don't have the mental bandwidth to say it. Don't push them. So right now, she is starting to get herself a little bit back. She's a baker. She's really an award-winning baker, and now he's like, okay, well, let's help you make a cake. Let's do this. But he is like, touch her and you die type of vibes, which I absolutely love. And this has always been you. Like, after he had left her the first time, right after the prologue, they were still texting each other until she got into this relationship. And so now it's really their second chance, because she never really, it was always Davis for her. And I love this. I love how it's going. I love the chemistry, and I love their ability to communicate with each other in a way that is, you could tell that they've always been together. And that's what I needed within the prologue, and not, oh, we're just going to hook up. I didn't need that hookup. I needed them to, him to give her his dog tags and say, I will always come for you. And that's what he said in the prologue. But I didn't need the action part of it. I just needed a conversation. So yeah, I'm off my soapbox on that one, but I really enjoyed it anyway. I'm going to continue on with this book, and then I am going to go on to, in this, there's no moon or anything in it, but I'm going to put it in this vlog. So if you choose to pick it up on November 20th, I got an ALC of Laura Pavlov's new holiday novella. It's called It's No Place Like Home. It popped up. It was a gift from Laura Pavlov. I'm on her ARC team, or her ALC team. I prefer the ALCs over the ARCs because I can get them done a lot faster. And I always love audiobooks. Like, I am an audiobook girly through and through, but I will read a physical book, and I will read an ebook and stuff. So. Hey guys, it is Sunday night, and I finished Rope the Moon this earlier today. I was making Christmas cookies with my niece. I was teaching her. So my family, we used to own a bakery, and so we have all these really great recipes from the bakery. And we have these Christmas cookies that were made in the late 19th, early 20th centuries. And so, yeah, we make them every Christmas, and she's here visiting, and she wanted to learn these family recipes and how to make them. So I started yesterday with her, and we made 2 types of Christmas cookies. So it's a little early for Christmas cookies, but it was a lot of fun doing it. And I didn't do B-roll with that simply because I don't put my family members on blast unless they give me permission, and I wasn't going to ask her. Anyway, so that's what I did, and that's why it took me a little longer to finish Rope the Moon, is because I was hanging out with my family, which is a very important thing to do. I was talking about this earlier, and I think the last clip, it was the prologue that kind of threw me, because it was just like straight into sexy times, and I was like, wait a minute, like where's this going? And that threw me for a loop. That being said, I ended up giving it 5 stars, funny enough, because the character development was fantastic. The romance was well written. I absolutely loved the suspense plot. I loved how we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. The villain in this, we knew who the villain was, right? We knew. He was so calculating. It just was like, wow. Like, I didn't guess how it was going to end. But it was really, really well done. I really loved our hero, Davis. He was so protective over Dakota, and for good reasons. But here's the thing. She came pregnant. She came home pregnant. And he's like, that's my woman. That's my baby. And he was going to do everything in his power to make sure those two stayed safe. And he's definitely morally gray. He would do anything to keep Dakota and his son and his brothers and his brothers' women safe. Like, oh my gosh, loved him. And I really loved Dakota because she started out really, really scared, and for good reason. This has domestic violence, and it has attempted murder on the page, so be aware of that, and how he was going to hurt her. Like, it was so upsetting. But it was also part of the character of this villain. And I loved how Dakota and her sister Fallon, they started off. Fallon became very angry with Dakota, and Dakota's father was going through cancer treatments. Dakota didn't know that was going on. There was reasons why they were distancing themselves. But ultimately, I loved how Dakota and Fallon, they were willing to take the bullet for each other. And this one was just so well done. Characterization was perfect. The plotting was perfect. The romance was well done. The character growth was on point. I loved even the secondary characters and how they supported the main couple in the story and with everything that was going down. 5 stars. And then when I was finishing up some graphics for this week, and this is, I'm just going to throw it in here, even though it has nothing to do with Moon. It's called Snow Place Like Home by Laura Pavlov. This is coming out November 20th. I got it as a gift with no expectations from me to give it a rating or to talk about it in any way, shape, or form. I give 4 stars. It is very quick, and it's brother's best friend that always been you. He comes back to town to attend her brother's wedding, and they get snowed in one night, and it's quick. There isn't really any spice to it. They do have a pretty good makeout session, but that was really it. It was a good holiday novella romance that had mutual pining, and you just saw them get together. Now, would this have been better if it was a full-length novel with some conflict? Yes, because the characters were interesting. The setup was interesting. It was very quick. It was a holiday novella. So I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a good time. It's coming out November 20th, and I do think it's on KU Read and Listen. Do not quote me on that. So that is it for this vlog. I am done with this vlog, and it was kind of a weird vlog, I think. So I started out with The Night Prince, and I ended up giving that 5 stars. Oh my gosh, absolutely adored that book. Then I talked about Little Moon because I added that in here, even though it was 65 pages. It's a graphic novel, and it's a very important read, I think, because it's about loss with Indigenous women, and I gave that one 5 stars. That is worth the read. Go read it. And that's why I decided to talk about that, and it's called Little Moon, so we got that in there. And then Stalking Around Christmas Tree by Jacqueline Frost. That one was a great, delightful surprise. Loved that cozy mystery. Gave it 4.5 stars. And then Rope the Moon, I was prepared to give like 3 or 4 stars. It ended up being 5 stars. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Had a great time with that. And then Snow Place Like Home, which was just a quick little holiday novella, 4 stars. It was fun. Anyway, so that is it for this vlog. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you are planning on reading any of them. Let me know all the things. And if you made it this far in this video and you want to let me know that you're here, please leave me a wolf emoji for The Night Prince. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.